Hey, this is Danny from Scare Talk. Before we get into all the horror greatness, I gotta let you know about Anchor. Anchor is the host site that we use to record our podcast. Anchor will upload your podcast to Apple and Spotify and many other listening platforms. Anchor is completely free, and you can download the app or go to the website, anchor.fm, and you can record straight on there. There's also some cool editing tools that you can use. Did I mention that it's free? Yeah, so if you want to make a podcast, Anchor is the way to go. Go check it out. Now, for the spooky stuff.
Welcome to Scare Talk, a horror movie podcast for horror fans. This podcast will cover horror movie reviews, ratings, and rankings. Now for your hosts, Danny and Joel.
Okay, this is Scare Talk. I'm Danny, and I'm here with the Double J edition. We've got Juicy Joel. And
what's up?
I like that.
And Jailbird Joey.
I've always wanted a nickname.
All right, so yeah,
Hey,
we got Joey in on this one. Today we're going to
thank you for having me.
Yeah. Today we're going to be talking about the brand new Wrong Turn film from 2021.
2021.
And Joel, who's in this?
All right, so this one stars Charlotte Vega. She played Jen, the main character of the kids, the teens. She was in Rec 3, Genesis, American Assassin with Michael Keaton, and that Netflix show Warrior Nun. And Bill Sage, he played the leader of the group of, I guess, bad guys. He was in American Psycho, Boiler Room, and Glitter with Mariah Carey.
It's a great movie.
Great movie.
Oh, yeah. And then Matthew Modine, he played Jen's dad. He was in Full Metal Jacket, Any Given Sunday, Dark Knight Rises, and he was in the first season of Stranger Things.
All right, cool.
And this was written by Alan B. McElroy. He wrote Halloween 4, Spawn, and the original Wrong Turn.
Okay.
And this was directed by Mike P. Nelson. I don't know anything that this guy has done. So Summer School, Domestics, and Studio Luma, which is a TV show he did 16 episodes for. So everything else was like shorts and everything. So
okay,
I didn't include those.
All right. So this one is about friends hiking in the Appalachian Trail are confronted by the Foundation, a community of people who have lived in the mountains for 100 years, or for hundreds of years.
Just 100 years.
Yes.
Exactly. Happy anniversary.
100-year anniversary.
The centennial.
So, what I'd like to do for this episode is kind of do our general positives and negatives, and then get into some of the more deep-rooted themes and some spoilers, like some specifics.
Cool.
So,
Okay.
let's start with Joel. What did you like about this?
So, just like how the first one started, this one had a slightly different opening as far as these typical movies go, where they go on a wrong turn and all hell breaks loose.
Yeah.
This one started with this was 6 weeks later, and started with the Matthew Modine character trying to find his daughter, which I thought was was different, and I like that. I just like when they do different things outside of just, it's just about a group of people that go camping or whatever, and they get lost and that's it.
Right.
That is pretty much what it is, but it started slightly different than that. And I did like that. So this is a movie that amongst the wrong turn, I guess, fanatics is, which there aren't very many of.
I'm surprised though, like
maybe on one hand.
Yeah.
in some of the groups that we're in, there's a lot of people that are kind of like,
they hate this movie.
Yeah. And
because it does something different.
Yeah.
Than the other wrong turn movies do. And it's like, okay, well, this is a reboot. So you're going to do things different in a reboot.
Yeah.
And, the last 4 or 5 wrong turn movies didn't really do so well. So maybe it's time to do something a little bit different.
Right.
Definitely.
But
I can't believe there was that many of them.
I know. This is technically 7.
Oh my God. It's so like, I think it's 6 too many.
Yeah, pretty much. But it's just the horror community is a group of people that basically, for the most part, hate change.
Sure.
And so when you take a franchise like this that's done the same thing 6 times and you do something different, people are not going to like that very much, and they don't embrace change.
Yeah.
And this was definitely different than.
Oh yeah.
I saw the first 4.
Oh wow.
I didn't see the last 2.
Why not?
The first 4. I quit after 4. I was like,
oh man,
it's the same thing over and over again, and it's bad.
Yeah.
And I heard 5 and 6 were like the worst anyway, so I don't really want to go down that path.
That's very, very surprising.
But yeah. But yeah, it's just I liked that they did something different with this one.
Yeah.
Because the original Wrong Turn is still fairly fresh in my mind. We just did that one not that long ago.
Yeah.
And just watched that one not that long ago. And this one was definitely took a different turn. Maybe it took a right turn this time, instead of a wrong turn.
Yeah.
The acting for the first half was not good from people, but I did think that after a while, once the story actually got going, the acting got better. The story got better, and I couldn't stand the Jen character for the first half of it, but she definitely did grow on me towards the last half of the movie, for sure. I think the last half is really where it picked up. And
yeah, 100%
got better. So, and I do like the story. It like I said, it's different than the other Wrong Turn movies, but it's just a fresh idea. And the kills were pretty good too.
Yeah,
as well. A lot of them were. Anyway, some of the characters did some pretty stupid things at some points, but that goes without saying with movies like this. But yeah, for the most part, I did enjoy it. So
yeah.
All right. Joey, what did you love?
Yeah, I got a little list going on. I'm not professionals like you guys yet. Well, the first thing that comes to my mind is the very end of the movie.
Yes.
I like the ending a lot.
Yeah.
Honestly, if it wasn't for the ending, I probably would have not remember this movie very well.
Okay.
It would have been a lot less memorable, right?
Yeah.
I like the suspense of some of the scenes, like the court scene. That was like one of those things where it's like you're on like the edge of your seat pretty much. And I kind of like the different take
drama for a little bit.
Yeah, it was kind of maybe a little too much, but it was definitely a lot of suspense for sure.
Mm-hmm.
I like and I dislike a different take on the plot.
Mm-hmm.
I like it in some ways, and I don't like it in other ways. But I liked kind of like the fresh take on it for that side. And then I think the kills were really good. Like the tree, like the CGI for it was a little crazy, where I was like, it looked like, a tree like rushing down the mountainside and stuff. I was like, dude, this is so crazy.
They were so stupid during that scene. That was one of the scenes I was talking about. Like, just move out of the way. Don't move down the hill.
Yeah. And it's like
the log's gonna gain traction and
decapitate. Yeah. It was kind of crazy. But like the courtroom scene where he like gets like blasted in the face and stuff, I thought that was pretty cool.
Yeah.
I thought some of the kills were pretty cool. Yeah, I would say that's kind of like my pros right there.
Okay.
What do you got, Danny?
I really like that log scene.
They were just stupid. Like, move out of the way.
Yeah, they started running down, and then they all just kind of flipped around, and it was like I guess a steep.
It was super steep, I guess.
Yeah,
hill that they were on.
All of a sudden,
they were like just diving and flipping and rolling. But I thought, I don't know, I kind of liked it, especially at the end when the dude gets smashed by the log.
It was pretty gruesome. Yeah, it was pretty crazy.
So yeah, I didn't have a problem with that scene, but the ending for sure. I really like the end. It ends like 3 times. You think it's gonna end, and then it's not over, and then you think, oh wow, that's how they're gonna end it, and then it's not over, and then you think, oh man, this is how they're gonna end it, and then then it's like, oh okay, cool, that was a good ending.
Yeah, definitely.
So stick with it, and there is some like the final scene is during the credits, so you want to watch that
for sure.
Yeah, because it like the title like pops up on the screen, and that's when you think it's like really over.
Yeah.
And then there's a scene during the credits. So,
yeah.
Really like that. The trial, I thought that was cool. Definitely a different, I don't know if I've ever seen that in a horror movie before. So,
like a courtroom drama trial.
That was interesting. Like in the mountains with these mountain people. And so that was.
It seems so legitimate too. It's like, I mean, I guess we're kind of giving, some storylines away and stuff, but, they killed, unrightfully so, they killed one of their members and stuff. So you have to come back and try him for murder and stuff. So it seemed like a legitimate trial too. Yeah. Like, how are you not gonna say that's not legitimate and stuff? You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I liked the darkness when the dude sentences them to darkness.
Oh, yeah.
What that actually means. I'm like, whoa, okay, yeah, I guess it's really darkness. I think there's some messages to the movie that I took away, which I liked. We'll get into those a little later. The lead actress, she basically turned into like Katniss from the Hunger Games. Yeah. She kind of turns into her, which, I thought that was kind of cool. Like Joel, I liked the beginning and the whole dad's story. I like that. The little mystery, missing persons hunt that he's on.
I can't believe it's been 6 weeks since
they went. I know. Yeah. It seemed like a long time.
Yeah. Those are all my positives.
Not bad.
So
I do want to add another one too.
Okay.
This one, I mean, it was going to be partly a negative in the beginning, which was the Jen character. Like when one of the friends is quote unquote being attacked by like those 2 cult guys.
Yeah.
And then one of them kills one of them.
Yeah.
And then she freaks out. It's like, I can't believe you killed someone or something like that. And it's like they've been setting up these traps for like the first, whatever of the movie, and one of them got dragged into a hole and everything.
Yeah.
But when it gets to like the courtroom part, it's like, well, they could have just been hunting. Like those traps weren't necessarily for people.
Yeah.
So it kind of like at that point kind of changed my mind on her a little bit.
Yeah.
It's like, oh, maybe maybe they weren't gonna kill you guys.
Yeah. That doesn't usually happen in horror movies. Like, there's not usually a character that thinks of the morality of the situation and kind of, like if there's like someone attacking someone or whatever, or someone looking creepy and then they get killed, like there's not another character that's like, oh my gosh, I can't believe you did that. Like, that doesn't happen too often.
Yeah.
So, like, bringing
really.
the whole morality into the story was different. Another thing that they did that was different. Kind of, you know, at that time, you're like, well, these guys kind of deserved it, you know, but you're also watching a horror movie, so you're kind of expecting that, you know. But if you put yourself in her shoes, maybe that is how a person would react, you know.
Yeah,
true. Yeah,
so
that's good. That's a good point.
So, anyways, let's talk about some of the stuff that we didn't like.
I think one of the biggest things for me is, and this is just like the first half of the movie, where it's just the acting wasn't the greatest to me. But you know, once the story started picking up, somehow the actors, I don't know if it I wasn't really paying much attention to it at that point, and it didn't bother me as much. But it got better somehow for me, and so like the first half is probably my biggest complaint at this point, where it's like the acting. I don't really have too many negatives for this movie. I did enjoy it, like what we said with the first Wrong Turn movie, is that, you know, you basically get what you pay for. Like you're not going to get some Academy Award winning movie out of a Wrong Turn movie. It's like, or any type of movies like this, where a group of friends go to like a wooded forest, or, you know, wherever that they're going to, and they get picked off one by one. So I really don't really have too many negatives for this movie, other than the acting for the first part of it.
Okay.
So I did enjoy the story, and, you know, pretty much everything about it. It's, you know, it was a pretty decent movie.
All right. Cool. Joey, do you have any?
I did. Had a few things. I felt like it was kind of like a little bit of a letdown. I like the foundation stuff, but it was a kind of a letdown as far as like a scary movie goes.
Sure.
Like when you learned about the foundation and stuff, and then you realize that it was just like a big mix-up. Like it was a mix-up, like they were just trying to help them and stuff, and they killed this, you know, their leader or one of their men or whatever, and they get tried for murder and stuff on the trial and everything. I felt like it took a little error out of the room a little bit.
At the same time, though, they did mention towards the end, when the dad's trying to find them, that whoever goes into those woods never comes back, is never seen from again. So it could have been just a misunderstanding, but at the same time, it could have been, you know,
justified.
Yeah, it could have been something worse. It's just the main characters attacked first. So
right,
obviously to them, they're the bad guys in this. But at the same time, you know, one of them, I don't know if we're going into spoilers right now. I'm waiting for that, but it's just, I don't know. It seemed like that, but at the same time, like, what would have happened if they didn't kill that one cult member, whatever, part of the foundation? Would they have let them go? Would they have killed them instead? Like, what?
Yeah.
So, it's just,
true.
We never know, because they attacked first. So,
What I think, like, even like my bigger point would be like that the foundation they weren't very scary.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Yeah. Like it like you got like kind of like a pit in your stomach to like, it's like that whole feeling like you're going to be put away for life. You're never going to see like your family and stuff. Like you have that like pit of your stomach, kind of like, oh man, that would be scary. But there was nothing really scary about them.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? They were just like, you know, mountain people that, you know, won like their own civilization and stuff and everything. So it just wasn't very scary per se, in contrast to like the original one where there were cannibals and, you know, I mean, that one, like, that movie, like, sucked for the most part and stuff. But at least it was scary and creepy, though. Yeah. You know, this one, like, I like the story. I like the departure from the original, but it was a lot less scary, for me, for sure.
Yeah.
But I mean, that being said, it was a deeper story, which was cool. I thought the acting was decent. Like Joel said, I think the beginning of the movie was definitely lackluster for like the acting, but the second half was a lot better for sure.
Mm-hmm.
I think maybe they just got kind of like in a groove a little bit acting wise, and I think the beginning of the movie, the script wasn't very good either.
Yeah.
I just don't think the dialogue was. I just don't think the dialogue was very good. And like the whole thing with the Joel liked the dad and like looking for him and stuff, but I thought his acting wasn't very good. And every time that they would flash back, I felt like it kind of killed some of the momentum of the movie a little bit, sort of. I just felt like, they flash forwarded back, it'd be like all this, momentum being built with like these, the trial and stuff like that. And they would flash back to the dad looking around, like kind of aimlessly looking around the city, like for his daughter and stuff. And I was like, this is kind of weird. I mean, I like the idea. I just don't know if it was executed like super good. I like the idea. Yeah. I just don't know if it was executed super good, but, that's what I got for cons.
Okay. So for me, I'm wondering where that tree came from.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah, like, and was it on purpose?
Yeah, like did it just
like who cut that down?
Start rolling down, or was it like just? Yeah, I don't know. So,
well, it looked like it wasn't even rolling down. It looked like someone like shot it out of a cannon. It was going so fast. I was like, "What the hell?"
I mean, in most of the time something was triggered, you actually saw the thing being triggered.
Right.
Like there was nothing for this log.
Yeah, so it was just like out of nowhere.
It just came
all of a sudden.
Yeah.
Like a million miles an hour.
Which goes to the point of these guys aren't that good of people.
Right.
Yeah.
And they actually, if it was intentional, they actually killed first.
Sure.
So,
yeah.
But
so yeah, that's just
territory. So
yeah, that's just a question that I had. I didn't really care for their like skull heads. I thought those were kind of lame.
The heads of their victims.
I mean, if it were heads of victims like people, that'd be cool. But it was like animal skulls or something, and it wasn't scary. Kind of like what Joey was saying. Yeah. It wasn't very scary movie. It was more of a thriller, like a survival thriller kind of
for
movie.
Sure.
Yeah. So, and then what you were talking about, Joel, with are these people really innocent as they, kind of claim to be, when at one point everybody's phone is taken.
Mm-hmm.
We assume that they're taken by these mountain people. So why would they do that? You know what I mean? Like if they're not, I don't know if they like try to recruit people and that's how they like keep their family going. I'm not sure. Mm-hmm. But at one point, the characters, it's kind of like a scene from the original where they go into this like building and then they see all these phones and all these like backpacks and stuff from, I'm assuming, people that never came back. And so that reminded me of the first movie, but it kind of takes away from that morality idea that these people are trying to set and make the main characters like look bad, when you're already doing all this other stuff. So I watched this movie twice, and those are kind of the things, because when I first watched it I really liked it. I liked it a lot. And then on the second watch I was kind of looking for things to see for like inconsistencies, and those are a couple of the things that I noticed. You guys were talking about the first half. It didn't really bother me. I thought it was like an okay setup for, who these characters are. Mm-hmm. The kind of, you got the gay couple, you got the black guy, kind of, just setting up for, there's going to be something about that's going to, play a role later in the movie. So I didn't think it was too bad. I could see the acting though you guys were talking about, but it didn't bother me too much.
And like Joe was saying, it could also have been writing too, because writing a lot of the times has a lot to do with with how the acting sounds.
Yeah.
Like the actor could be actually doing a really good job, but if they have a really horrible script, then you're only as strong as your script, basically.
Right.
Yeah.
So
Very true.
Yeah. Okay. So, do you guys want to get into spoilers and then grade it, or do you want to grade it now?
Let's do
Grade it
spoilers
now.
first.
So
Oh, okay. 1-1. Danny, you break the tie.
Well, I'm thinking
for people
anybody
that haven't
who
watched it yet, they want to
Yeah.
know what our
Yeah.
grades are.
That's true. Yeah.
Yeah,
All right.
so-
Yeah, we can do grades first.
Okay, so yeah, we'll do grades first, and then
Okay.
if you haven't seen this movie, then go ahead and watch it because we're going to get into more deeper stuff. All right, Joel, what do you got?
I'm gonna give this one an 83.
Oh,
All right,
Yeah.
cool.
I'm wrong.
Joey?
I'm gonna do a 77%, a C, kind of C plus almost.
Okay.
Almost.
All right, well, I'm going 88.
Dang! Wow,
I like this one. If it
Yeah.
wasn't for the ending, like you said, Joey, then it would it would probably been like 80. But I really like the
Okay.
end and just even the way it
Yeah.
looked. Like I thought that was so cool.
Yeah,
Yeah,
with like the still camera and then her
Yeah.
walking towards the camera, especially with that little girl.
yeah,
That was pretty cool. If it wasn't for the ending, I kind of debated. I was like in the low 80s, and I was like, man, I can't do a B, like a C plus, strong C plus and stuff. Just based on
that B.
just based on like this is like it's supposed to be a scary movie. I didn't get real scared from it or anything. So
yeah.
but it's still a solid movie though.
Yeah.
I went
More
back
of
and
a
I watched.
slasher than really a scary movie. Well, not
Or like a thriller,
it's
like
own
Danny said.
category, really. Yeah.
Yeah. But yeah, I love the ending, and we got spoilers coming up, so we can talk about a little bit more about the ending, I guess, and stuff. But
Yeah.
I really like the ending a lot.
So yeah, we'll kind of go through some of the one of the messages that I got from it. We'll go through other stuff, but something I noticed on the first watch was, so you have this, gay couple. You got this black guy there, and then they're younger. They're probably like college age or whatever.
Mhm.
And they're going to this small town in Virginia to, get on the Appalachian Trail. And right away, they kind of have this judgment of the people.
Mm-hmm.
So right when they get there, they're kind of checking into this little motel. And the gay couple is holding hands. And the lady working at the hotel, checking them in, looks at them, not like in any sort of judgment, or she just looks at them.
Mm-hmm.
And they let their hands go. And another time they're at a bar, and this, older white guy walks up to their table and says something like, "You guys don't seem like you're from here," or whatever. And you can tell right away that they're like, "Oh, this guy doesn't like us. This guy is racist or homophobic," or, things like that. And on my second watch, I'm like, were they justified in thinking that way? Or was this guy just going up and talking to them? And I felt like they were super defensive right off the bat about the people in the town. And then you find out later that these people in the town were trying to help them. They weren't, they were trying to get them to not go on this hike. And the older guy, he's the one that kind of saves Jen.
Oh, literally.
Toward the end of the movie. And I think it says something
After
about,
he beats up Jen's dad.
And
which was kind of weird.
he said he was trying to stop him from going and looking. And
by beating him up. Yeah.
By beating him up.
They have their ways, I guess, of communicating.
But, they didn't say anything racist. They didn't say anything homophobic. There was nothing for the main characters to think that that's how they felt. There was nothing there other than they were in this backwoods redneck town and the way they looked.
Yeah.
There was that one scene in the very beginning where the dad's going to like the sheriff department to try to find his daughter.
Yeah.
And there's a picture that he shows with the daughter and her boyfriend. And the sheriff goes, "Who's that black guy?" Like, it kind of sounded a little aggressive.
Yeah, yeah.
And I kind of thought that was a little. I was like, "Oh, okay, that was a little uncalled for, I guess." But it's like, okay, couldn't have been like, "Who's the other guy?" Like, who's that black guy?
Yeah. Well,
like,
and
well.
and I get that, but they never came across that guy. They never came across the sheriff.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
So
no,
in that case, yeah, they would be justified to, feel defensive or whatever. But with the characters they actually came across, there was, I don't feel like any reason to feel that way, but they were assuming. And then you find out later that they actually get saved, or, well, one of them does, by them. And so I thought that was kind of a message of, just judgment of, how people look is, can be hurtful. So
for sure,
that was the message I took from it.
Yeah, it's kind of like that perception versus reality of how, certain situations are supposed to like look, and you almost like jump to the perception of things first rather than the reality. Like, you know what I mean? like you're in like this kind of like podunk town and stuff. You think, oh, I'm in a podunk town, and then old white people and stuff. Of course, they're gonna look at me, a gay couple or a black person, like that.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? That's how it is. So yeah, I mean, yeah, like you said, yeah, just don't read a book by its cover. In both ways too, like for the group and for the group to them too, because there's like a little bit more, there's just like a tension between both groups. Yeah. And they're, for no reason whatsoever.
And, again, you're watching a horror movie. So you kind of perceive that tension yourself when you're watching it, like, oh, okay, these guys are up to something. You just kind of automatically think that because of the situation, when that is not what happened. You kind of think that they're going to be the ones to, be the villains, but really they're not. So
right,
yeah.
I also had, that was a good point. I also had, and I talked to you, Danny, about this too, about kind of like the tone of this kind of mimics what you were just saying. Actually, is like, don't be afraid of the unknown and lack of understanding in a couple ways, because of the foundation too. They were just kind of like living their life in the mountains and stuff. No one was bothering them. It didn't seem like they were really bothering people unless they went to their mountains and stuff.
Yeah.
And total like lack of understanding between, those groups of people and stuff. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So that kind of goes hand in hand with, I think, what you were just saying.
Yeah.
It's like sharks. You don't go in the ocean, you won't get eaten.
Sure.
True. Yeah. Definitely.
Yeah, well, and, when you first watch the movie, you think, okay, that one character was justified in killing one of the mountain men.
Yeah.
But like we've already said, they were kind of trying to help him, it seemed like, after they explained themselves. We don't know if that's actually true or not.
Yeah, we don't know if that's what they were doing, but
right.
that's what it appeared to be after, after they struck first.
Yeah.
Kind of thing. So
did you guys find it weird too when they were captured and stuff, and how Jen so quickly like kind of succumbed to the leader guy and was just like, oh yeah, I'll be your wife, I'll bury your children and stuff.
Yeah.
Did you see? Did that feel like a little like it didn't? It felt like not realistic. I mean, of course, like she would have lived.
Her boyfriend, because yeah.
I
mean,
it just seemed like too easy for her. Like it was like too like. I mean, yeah, she's kind of portrayed as like the superhero, like of the movie and stuff. Kind of like she's so strong and stuff. To me, it just seemed like not very realistic.
Yeah.
A little bit.
It was kind of interesting because the way you kind of perceive her character is someone who's has a hard time making decisions.
Yeah.
And because she's supposedly supposed to make a decision about working for her dad's company or whatever, and her stepmom is like, oh, she's out there trying to find herself, and, you know, she doesn't make any decisions. And then there's this, and she made a pretty quick decision.
Super quick.
Yeah.
So I'm wondering if that's kind of like her
A
tackling
breakthrough
that,
almost.
you know?
Yeah. Yeah.
So,
Maybe, but yeah, she went from 0 to 60 real quick though.
Yeah.
For sure. And did you guys, because I did a little research online too about this movie and kind of like storylines and stuff. Did you guys get like the whole kind of like, this is like a group of like, I'm assuming like probably like, young liberal people,
Okay.
that have like this kind of perception of, you know, some people have, different perceptions of the world and stuff. Like it's almost like they perceived, because the guy, right, the boyfriend, runs like a nonprofit for like city planning or something, like making like cities sustainable and stuff. Wasn't it kind of weird? It was like a group of, I'm guessing like young, like very young, like college age, like liberals and stuff. And then they're trying to create like this utopian society, like in their real life, right? But then they actually find this society, the foundation, that pretty much has, you know, people work, everybody works, everybody has the same stuff and everything. It's pretty much what they're working towards, but they don't want to be there. Did you guys get that, or am I kind of reading into it a little too much?
With the black guy, yes. Because he has a little speech at one point when he says that that's basically the world he wants to live in.
Yeah.
He says while they're like in bed, like, you know why I do this nonprofit or whatever? It's because of, I don't remember the words, but he basically describes socialism.
The foundation. Yeah.
And what the foundation kind of their blueprint is for the way they live. But he ends up staying. So he did want to stay.
Yeah. That's true. He definitely put his money where his mouth is, for sure.
I mean, at the end there, I don't. Well, I guess he could have escaped with them. I was going to say they didn't really have much of a choice but to stay. It was either to stay or die. But then Jen's dad came and he could have gone with. That's why I was like, did he die like off camera? I didn't see him die. But
no, they showed him.
I don't think so.
They showed him, and he's like, "No, I'm staying. These are my people. Like I fit here." Basically, is what he was saying. And you know, it had been, I guess, a little more than 6 weeks, or maybe less. It doesn't really say how long it's been, or how long the dad was looking.
Well, it started 6 weeks later,
Yeah.
But then he found him, so I don't know how long it was at that point.
Yeah.
It could have been
a little after 6 weeks, maybe. Yeah.
I mean, his beard had grown pretty significantly, and his hair. So I'm assuming it was like a few months, but I guess the dad just stayed in that town for a while. I don't know.
Yeah,
I don't.
And so, you know, I like what you're talking about, Joey, but also he did want to stay.
That's true. Yeah. Yeah. And that's a big part of the movie, I guess, too, is like, you know, he preached about this society, but then he was okay being there too. I guess that's a good point.
Yeah.
For sure. One more thing. Did you guys like the, when she was walking through, I guess it was like a cave and she saw all those people and stuff? I thought that was so cool.
Yeah.
And so creepy.
That was the scariest part of the movie.
For sure. I thought that was so cool. It was definitely needed. Yeah. Because I was like, man, this is definitely not scary at all. But then I saw that and I was like,
the darkness.
Yeah.
The darkness. Yeah. I thought that was so cool. And why were they so weird? I mean, I know they didn't have any eyes, but dang, they were just like really weird looking people. they were acting so weird.
They were probably in the darkness for a while.
Yeah. But man, I guess it makes you just trip out of your mind, I guess. But I don't know. It's kind of weird.
So Joel, do you have anything you wanted to throw in there? Like any scenes you specifically liked, or?
what you guys like what you guys were talking about earlier, the end of the movie, I think is probably my favorite scene in the entire entire movie.
Yeah.
It's just, everything's back to normal. Jen's with her family. She decided to work with
looking through papers or something.
That's what I hear. Yeah, Joey, what are you doing?
Sorry, I was folding up my notes.
Okay.
It's very sensitive. It's a very sensitive microphone.
All right, Joey.
I'm sorry. Please forgive me. I'm never going to be invited back again. Playing with your notes and shit.
Yeah, so everything looks like it's gonna have a happy ending. Jen's back with her family. She started working with her dad. I'm pretty sure. How that ended. And all of a sudden she goes home, and the leader is just like sitting at their kitchen table. And she's got
so
this
creepy.
like this look on her face, like what are you doing here?
Yeah.
And it ends a couple of different. I mean, it could have ended a couple of different times, like what you were saying earlier. With her I guess daydreaming about what was gonna happen. Where he ends up killing the stepmom and then her little brother, and then she kills him, but then that's all just a dream, and she decides to go with him if they left the family alone. And
because she's having his baby.
Because she's
which was so
8
cool.
months pregnant.
Yeah.
It's like I didn't know that much time had passed. Okay.
No, she looked like she was probably 5 months pregnant or so.
Yeah.
5 or 6 maybe.
Yeah,
maybe 5.5. Come on. Don't you know your
pop any day.
Your months.
And so they get into the van, and then we see the title, the Wrong Turn title show up, and then all of a sudden he loses. You just see like the van just crash, RV crash into another car, and then he gets out. So as a leader of this like cult, he kind of just like gets out of the car and started running away. Like that's not really
I don't think that was him.
I don't think so either.
Yeah, because he was
Really?
driving, I'm thinking.
Yeah.
But someone got out of the
person
passenger
got out.
side.
Yeah, someone got out of the passenger's side, but then he got out and was limping away.
Oh, I couldn't
the driver's side.
Who it was.
Yeah, it was kind of far away, but it was creepy. I think one of the best shots was when they walked out of the house and like in one continuous frame, and then you see like that RV with like the family standing like in front of the RV.
Yeah.
I thought that was like quintessential like scary movie, like iconic like frames and stuff. I thought that was so cool.
Yeah.
And it really made it better.
The "This Land Is Your Land, This Land Is My Land" song.
Yeah.
Yeah. Which was how appropriate was that for the movie too?
Yeah.
It's like,
they had that song playing on the previews. Of the movie.
Did.
And so that's a creepy, like, not song in general, but just the way that they
the version,
the version that they sang was a pretty creepy version of that patriotic song. That
super patriotic.
Yeah, so then she stabs them like 30,000 times.
Yeah.
And what was good was it was a distant shot. It wasn't like you were in the van with them or the RV while they were driving away and then he crashed, and that would be kind of typical, but it was like you're seeing the credits and then this car you're thinking is just going to drive off, and then it like stays there, but you can see what's happening from a distance, and then she walks toward the camera with the little girl.
Yeah.
So cool.
Yeah, that was great. And I remember hearing that song in the trailer and thinking like, how does this go with a Wrong Turn movie? It doesn't make any sense. But totally made sense after you see the movie. So
Yeah, I did.
It's crazy. Like, you know, I watched the original Wrong Turn a couple of days ago, and it's really crazy how far they've come with that original to this one.
Yeah.
His original was well, you guys did a podcast on that original.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Right. And it was the acting was so bad, but it was so like creepy and scary and stuff. The cannibalist and stuff cannibalism and everything. But it's so crazy how far they've come just with like the story development.
Yeah.
And kind of everything that goes around in this movie and stuff. It was just like a lot more well-rounded movie.
Yeah.
The only reason why I gave it like a C is I just didn't think it was that scary. Yeah. But I think as far as like a complete movie, it was pretty solid.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So what do you guys think of like this movie even being called Wrong Turn?
So I think that's what a lot of people that are hating on it, because it's so different, are hating on it because it is a wrong turn movie.
Yeah.
If it were named something different, it probably would have gotten from the haters, probably would have been better.
Yeah.
They probably would have liked it better. But at the same time, if you do that, it's kind of a lose-lose situation because you'll from the same people or from a lot more people probably. If you named it differently, they'll be like, "That's just a Wrong Turn ripoff or something."
Right.
So it's like there's no winning.
Yeah.
At all. So it's, you know.
Yeah.
I don't mind it. I like it. I like that it's Wrong Turn.
Yeah.
It definitely has a different feel than the original. But that's fine.
Yeah. Well, and it has what you need for a Wrong Turn movie. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like it has the wrong turn that happens in the movie when they're on the trail. You know, they decide to go kind of off the trail, and that's the setup for a Wrong Turn movie. You know?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
That's all you really need.
Yeah, but even then, do you feel like it's kind of cheap though? Because it's like they're on a hike and they just decide to go down a different trail. I feel like it's so subtle.
Yeah.
That's kind of like dating back to the original and stuff. It was literally a wrong turn. Like they went down the wrong road of like despair. And then they have like the barbed wire and stuff. They got the flat tires and everything.
Yeah.
This was just like, you just, went down like a different trail. And I don't know. It just felt kind of a little cheap.
Yeah.
But like the totality of the movie was a lot better. It just wasn't as scary. It was a better movie. It was definitely less scary for me though.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So when I was thinking about this, like, would I have rather had this titled something else? Is it a big deal that it's titled Wrong Turn? And then I was thinking of Black Christmas. And I was thinking of how that one was called. Well, I was thinking of the 2019 version that was called Black Christmas, but the only similarity it really had was it was during Christmas and people were being killed off. And so I'm like, well, I had an issue with that being called Black Christmas. So should I have an issue with this one being called Wrong Turn? But Black Christmas was such a horrible movie. I didn't want it to be associated with.
There was a lot more wrong with Black Christmas than just the title.
That title, yeah. But, being that it was such a bad movie and had that title, then it just capped it off. It just made it that much worse.
Yeah.
Whereas this one was a good movie and had the title, but it didn't bother me.
Yeah.
Right.
So it's just interesting how you can kind of have different feelings depending on the movie itself.
This one was closer to Wrong Turn than that Black Christmas was to the original, or even the 2006 version.
Yeah,
it still had the same feel. Oh, it's slightly different feel to it than the original Wrong Turn did. But I mean, it's about a group of people that go down a path that leads them to
despair.
What happens next, and despair.
Yeah,
and that. I mean, if that's not Wrong Turn, I don't really know what is, really.
Right.
It is the same basic premise.
Right.
Whereas the 2019 Black Christmas was completely different. In every possible way.
Well, I guarantee you the people, the franchise is definitely better off with this 2021 version. being included into the Wrong Turn franchise than without it, right?
Yeah.
Like this is way better acting, way better story than the original. I haven't seen any of the other ones. I think I might have saw the second one, maybe.
You should
maybe
watch
with
all
you,
of them.
Danny, probably. Oh gosh, maybe before bed or something.
We should all marathon those movies sometime.
Yeah, no, I'll definitely need to check a few of them out. But yeah, it's like the franchise is definitely better off with this movie included in the franchise. I think.
Mm-hmm.
Well, so usually a reboot, the idea is that you kind of restart the franchise. So do we feel like there could be sequels to this, or
I could see it for sure.
Yeah.
Well, someone has to take over the Foundation since the leader is now dead.
Right.
Yeah.
So maybe the black guy takes over the Foundation and he becomes and Jen has to face off against her ex-boyfriend.
Or what if Jen has a change of heart and joins the Foundation as well? Yeah. Who knows?
Yeah, you can.
The whole family goes to the Foundation.
Yeah. Just everybody goes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No, I can see like the Foundation kind of infiltrating the town too, like kind of creating their own town rather than just this mountain area. And just, we didn't learn too much about them. We kind of learned about their overall like ideology, but we didn't get to know any of the characters really. So I could see it. I think this movie has done pretty well for what it is, a Wrong Turn film. I think it's done pretty well. So, of course, money is gonna play a factor into whether another one is made. So,
yeah, definitely.
Yeah, well, it depends on how much this movie costs and what they made back in it. So,
yeah, I would definitely watch another Wrong Turn though.
Yeah.
I would definitely watch it.
Yeah, I mean it's I don't want to say it's a fun franchise because there's really only two in the franchise that are actually kind of entertaining. This one and the original. But it could be a really fun franchise.
Yeah.
If done right. So
I do have a question for you guys. Which one do you like better, the original or this one? And why?
I would say this one.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Joel?
I don't know. I don't know. That's tough. I think they're both kind of equal in different ways. Like they're both fun. I mean, this one has definitely a better story. So that alone is better to me. Yeah, probably this one because I think as far as the kills go, I think they're about equal.
Yeah.
If not this one having, I think they're probably about equal. So it's just the story in this one, which was better. So I would probably say this one because of the story.
I would say, to me, after seeing the original and stuff, I would say the original.
Yeah.
If it wasn't for the end of this new one, the end of this new one puts it in like a different category and stuff. But if you take like the first 95% of the movie, the original, even with the bad acting and stuff, it's like so much more scarier for sure.
Well,
because the whole Foundation versus cannibals.
Yeah.
Yeah. And, the Foundation, they look like just normal people as opposed to the original, like the cannibals were...
inbred and...
Yeah,
they're like monsters.
Yeah, pretty much.
Yeah.
All right. Well,
this movie grossed about $700,000.
Oh, really?
Since it's been out.
This one?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
But it was only...
I'm sure they spent more than that on the actual movie itself.
Yeah.
Yeah. So but it was only... Wasn't it only in that one theater, though, originally?
It was in...
It was in
or it was in like a couple of theaters.
Like,
yeah.
I think...
I wonder how many
theater
theaters.
that was open.
Okay. There's
yeah,
like probably six. Like 6 theaters probably. Few and far between.
That's a worldwide gross is less than 700,000, and there's some countries that are open completely.
Yeah,
so.
That's surprising.
Well, it just came
bad
out.
timing.
It just came out for on demand. So we'll see if that goes up. Hopefully.
Yeah.
All right. Well, thanks for coming on the show, Jailbird Joey.
Of course. Thank you for having me.
We'll have to
till
do
we
this
meet again.
Yes.
Yeah.
All right. Well, that has been our episode on Wrong Turn from 2021.
Sleep tight.
Don't let the foundation bite.